I'm certainly going to have a shot of that. I'll check this out. Got names on this thing. Well, we kind of powered out here. What are you doing? Oh, what is he doing? Whoa, 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 jeez. Okay, well, we filled it in. It's quite a bit better than it was. Hopefully he can make it. Look at that, like nothing. Like nothing. Except for that spot. There he goes. Now I gotta try to make it up. The problem is I got diff lock in there, which I need for this trail, but I can't give it any wheel speed. All I can do is 4,500 RPMs and then it cuts out. It just hurts me more than it helps me. I need the power to get up here. This is a real steep section here. You can see that rock and everything did its job, held right up. It didn't even really spin out at all. Just, like I said, what was on top, and that's it. Oh yeah, well, here we go. This would have been a lot easier if I could just give it full power, but that rev limiter is just stopping me at 4,500 RPMs and it just keeps cutting out the ignition. So I'm gonna have to try and bypass that in the CDI. Well, Team China made her, folks. That rev limiter was a real pain in the butt. It makes it more dangerous than anything because I needed more power to get up, but I held it at just under the rev limiter and it made it. Well, we're just climbing now. Our little road worked. Beauty country up in here. I got Team China just dialed right in. She's on the top of a mountain. It's still running. Runs like it's fuel injected. I did a bunch of stuff in the car. Nothing crazy, just jetting. But it runs really good. Almost as good as Andy's EF5 turns. Yeah, so I got that thing running really good. I did several modifications to the car to make it run that good, and I was actually even surprised myself at 8,000 feet it's still running great. Once you get up to that first steep section, it's not too bad, but there is a few other little sketchy spots where you can definitely get yourself hurt or killed here. Going up there. Steep up there. Andy must have had a little too much speed. Lost his saw again. That was the second time Andy lost that Swede saw on this trip, and then I heard it's gone for good now. I think he lost it in the Cutoff Creek area. Back brakes are not sounding good. All I have is front brakes. No engine braking because that stupid Chinese one-way bearing. Hard to hang on to here with no power steering. That's where we just came from 2 minutes ago. The views up here are just insane. It's just such a cool place. Like, even just to hike this trail would be good. And then of course you could go wherever you want. We're only allowed to stay on the main trail, and you can see that trail's been there for over 40 years, and you can see nobody goes off the trail. They just stay on the trail and we make it to the peak and everybody's happy. So she gets pretty windy up here, and I wouldn't want to have my tent right where we're riding right now. But farther up here there's a section in the trees. I'd like to come up here and set up my tent sometime and spend the night. It'd just be awesome. But yeah, so I'm driving this whole trail. The whole thing I'm doing with, I keep talking about my engine braking. So that's that one-way bearing. Once I replace that, it's a game changer. So next time I go up there, it'll be just a cakewalk compared to what it was on this trip. Also, I've got power steering now and new rear brakes, so that'll really help. Well, I got no back brakes, no engine braking, don't even have a seatbelt, no power steering, and a Chinese side-by-side. We're on the top of the mountain. Hopefully going up there. No back brakes, only front brakes. God knows what's left. Well, we stopped. Danny stopped here. The restaurant in the trees here. They had, what are these things called, Andy?
I don't know. China sandwiches or something. There we go. A meal on the trail. Okay, come up there. Getting closer. This thing sure runs good for not being fuel injected. Did a lot of stuff to the carb to make it run like this. Okay, we're going up there. Oh, she's a heck of a pull up through here.
Yeah, so the camera really takes away from it, but there's times where you're climbing here for 5 minutes or so. Like the machines are getting a hell of a workout. Here you can see like the really old rocks. They say that during the ice age, some of these places up here in this area didn't get ice covering them, so they've got all the original native flowers from way back when.
Here comes Team China.
Listen to it just rattling away.
No. We're about 7,000 feet now. Still got another climb and then that's it. It's got to be around 7,000 feet today. Is that the sheep trails along the edge there? Well, this might be the end of Team China, folks. You can't make that last climb, eh, Andy? Here we go. She's fully insured. We're gonna take, I think the one to the right is better. Yeah. Say your prayers, Team China. Okay, here he goes. Oh, there's that other one in the middle there.
Just to the right of where Andy's climbing, that's the trail that I'm going to take, but I didn't know it at the time, but there's actually about a 2-foot ledge there, so you'll see what happens.
Lots of shale.
The Terex 4 is a lot longer than Team China, so that's where that long wheelbase really helps out, is in these steep hills.
Well, we kind of powered out here, and I was worried about it getting crossed up sideways and rolling to the bottom. Doesn't look like much here, but it is. So I don't know if I should try and winch up this or just try and back down. And he's coming along. Yeah, although it's still running really good, this thing's running rich on the very top end, and this is where you notice it. I mean, we're just about at 8,000 feet. We were at 7,500 back there, so 7,500 feet. So Andy's gonna come up here again and get me onto that ledge. Hopefully. Holy shit, Andy. What are you doing? Whoa, what is he doing? Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's he doing? What the heck was that? What was that? Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just get your wheels straight. Holy frig, what a nail biter. Oh, a bit of an adventure. I just wanted him to park on that bench, but that's okay. That would have been good if he would have rolled into me. I got to keep my foot in the brake here. This thing's got... Oh, it's actually holding. I don't believe it. Barely.
I said I powered out, but part of that was because I was in diff lock and that rev limiter was acting up again. So if I have full power and all my clutch mods now, I'll be able to make it up there.
Yeah, it's pretty steep. Like the guy came up here and then cut across and then up, switch back it a bit, but oh, made it up okay there. Okay, I don't think this is as bad, but we'll see. Woohoo! Made her. We're just about at the top now. Yeah, it needs a little less fuel in the top end, but running pretty good for being carbureted. Yeah, you can't even see where it came from, it's so steep. Definitely, I'm running 8 PSI. That's part of the problem because the tires are bouncing. This thing, right now, I should probably be about 4 PSI, even 3, coming up here and make a big difference. A lot more traction and not so much bouncing around. Well, whatever, we're here now. Wow, what a view. Look at those guys. That's where they live, way up here. Man, is this unbelievable. That's the very peak of Cadomin Mountain right there. Extreme country. Camera doesn't really give the feel for what it really looks like up here, but it is so beautiful.
So I'm about to zoom in here and you'll see the haul road from the coal mine I worked at. You can see it just on the right there. So the mine I worked at, the Cheviot mine, is just to the left of those mountains there, just in behind the side-by-side. There it is right there. And so we had to haul the coal 22 kilometers from there all the way to that little road I zoomed in on and to the plant, and then unload the coal there and then come back for more. And the reason for that was because when this coal mine opened up in 2004, prior to that there was a lot of people against this mine opening up just because it was in the mountains and stuff like that. Even though it was a historic mining area, they didn't want it. But anyways, they ended up allowing it to go through, and but they wouldn't allow a plant to be built way out there. So we had to actually haul the coal to where the original mine was, which was the Cardinal River mine, Cardinal River Coals. That was the mine that ran from 1969 to about 2000, and then they kind of ran out of coal and they closed it up and then reopened at this Cheviot mine in 2004. But yeah, it was a heck of a long haul.
Good job, Team China. Bit of a climb. Oh, geez. Cut the grounding cable, or so the thing doesn't blow away. Right at the peak. There's the town of Cadomin down there. Yep, not a climb for everybody, that's for sure. Well, check this out. We got names on this thing. Duke. Who are you, Duke? 350X. The old 350X Honda. Brady 96. And here's one, Paul Webb 2010. TRX 350 Honda 4x4. Solid swing arm. She must have been a hell of a climb.
Actually, he was probably on an early 2000s Honda Rancher 350, not the old solid swing arm.
It was a hell of a climb for Team China. 1981. Nice one. Well, I'm certainly going to have a shot of that. Made it up all this way. So we left some stuff in there. I'll have to go find something to leave. What do we got here? Holy smokes, hey, look at that. Are you supposed to take something, leave something? Whatever. I'll just leave something. Cool.
Andy said that fireball was in there 3 years ago, but I took a shot of it anyways.
Oh, look at this, man. You don't want to go off of here. That's beauty country. There's another cut line to another good little. I think I see those sheep way down there. Is that them way down there?
Well, mission accomplished. We made it to the peak of Cadomin Mountain with Team China, so now we head down.
And you definitely don't want to go off the edge here. Better put two hands on the wheel for this section. Back down we go. Fuel injected machine probably wouldn't have any issues.
So that's the thing with an old style carbureted engine versus fuel injection is the air's thinner up here, so to compensate you have to actually mechanically give the engine less fuel by changing jets, whereas fuel injection, it does it all on its own through a computer.
Bit of a climb to the top there.
when I worked at the mine, I used to camp just up the road from work, and I would just be to the left of where that road is in the center of the screen. I'd camp there, and it was about 5 minutes to drive my motor home on the way to work. And here's some pictures of camping at that spot. Those pictures with the snow, that was actually in July. Here's my big grader.
For all the guys that say you don't need engine braking, you need engine braking if you're in the mountains. Super steep here. I just came over here to take a video and this thing started rolling forward.
So I didn't know it, but as I'm sitting there talking about how steep this hill was, there was actually a bunch of people and some sheep hunting guides that were just below that had heard all this, so they just ended up parking their side by side. They weren't even going to attempt it. They ended up hiking it. But I ended up knowing one of the sheep hunters, so that was kind of cool.
Well, the beam China just died. It won't start. I don't know if it's flooded. It might be flooded because this is such a steep downhill. Not sure what's going on. Oh man, not even sure if I'm gonna make it through there. Should have went around. Lovely. Should squeeze through. I have to ghost ride it to the bottom here.
Okay, so we got the final episode coming up, and then that'll be the end of this trip. We head back to camp, and then I get ready to make the long journey home. But before I do that, I go over and visit Roy, and I wanted to check out some old historic grave sites that are over there at Grave Flats. And then also, I think I found the location of another picture where there was an old campsite, and I wanted to check that out because it's mislabeled wrong. It says that it's in British Columbia, but it's not. So yeah, so then I meet up with a guy mountain biking from Banff to Mexico. So stay tuned for that one.